Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I have for you some high-end fall decor ideas on a budget, and let's go ahead and get started. DIY number 1. For this project, I'm using this wood round. I believe I got it a long time ago at dirt cheap, and I already use it, as you can see. So I'm gonna first go ahead and sand off those dots, actually spots that were left, and after that I will use this spackling from the Dollar Tree. I did not have a wood filler, and I will just fill it up. I'm just using my fingers to smooth it out as much as possible, and then I actually used my heat gun to dry it faster. But if you have time, you can certainly leave it to dry, air dry. When everything was completely dried, I sanded out with my sanding block from the Dollar Tree to make it nice and smooth. After everything was smooth, I went ahead and got this Waverly chalk paint in color ink, and I painted it. So while that was drying, I am going to take this piece of the Dollar Tree pumpkin. It actually was almost like a napkin holder. I believe a lot of you saw those wooden pieces, and I used this one previously, but for now I am going to take only one piece. I sanded out where the glue was, and actually I used these colors. So Waverly chalk paints in a color moss and celery to paint it, and a brown one for the stem, and I'm just going to distress it a little bit more for with that brown color. Now that I have this part done, I'm going to go ahead and I will get my wood round that is now dried, and I will use a hot glue and position, or actually glue, this pumpkin on the bottom portion of this circle. When this was glued, I'm going to take these wooden letters from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to spell out the word autumn, and I'm going to put it in a curved pattern. And after I was completely happy the way I positioned it, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue all of them one at a time. I didn't put a lot of hot glue, just a few dabs here and there, because I didn't want it to, come out to the sides. And then when I was done gluing all of them, this is how it looks like. The only thing left to do is to take a few strands of raffia and create a very, very simple bow, the way you tie your shoelaces type of bow, and to hot glue it close to the stem of my pumpkin. After that, this project is complete. If you're following my channel for a while, you know that I love simple projects. I like elegant projects, and this is one of those. This is so simple, very minimal, but it's totally me. I love the colors. I love the way it turned out. It is rustic, and I just absolutely love it. But as always, I would like to hear from you. What do you think about this one? Tell me in the comments down below, would you change anything? If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Jelena, stay-at-home mom with 2 kids, love crafting, doing DIY projects. Everything is on a budget, and mostly rustic and farmhouse style, but I do some modern style as well. If something like that interests you, please check out my other videos. Hopefully you like them enough to subscribe to my channel. So make sure to give this video and other videos a big like. That means so much to me. It helps my channel being promoted by YouTube. Also, subscribe to my channel with the notification bell on so you don't miss any of my future videos. Okay, let's go on to DIY number 2. So probably a lot of you saw these cute wooden pumpkins from the Kirkland, but they were $12.99. I mean, that's not a big price, but still, I know I could make it cheaper. So I'm taking this wooden pumpkin from Dollar General. It actually has a clip, which I'm gonna leave. It was only $1, so right now I'm taking this bow and I am cleaning off the excess of the glue. And then I'm sanding everything a little bit, so the leftover of the glue as well as the, a little bit of on the top of the pumpkin. After that, I'm taking my Rust-Oleum chalk paint in a linen white color, and I'm giving this a really good coat. So I wanted to make sure everything is nice and covered. So I decided to recreate that white one, but I added a little touch of the black one, you will see. So after I painted everything and everything was dry, this is how it looks like. Next, I'm taking these tags. They're from Hobby Lobby. They were $3.99, but of course now everything is 40% off pretty much there. So it really was pretty cheap for me to buy. So I'm gonna take the one that says blessed. I'm taking off the handle part, or actually the piece that was holding it, and then I want to take this thumbtacks in a color gold, and I am going to push, or push pins actually, push one on each side to mimic the one from Kirkland. After this part was done, I'm taking the same piece of letter that was on this tag, and I'm creating a small bow that I'm gonna attach on top of it. So that's the part that I took from the black one, and I like the bow. I thought it will make this pumpkin look cuter and stand out a little bit. So I'm attaching it with a hot glue, and I'm cutting off the tails just a little bit because they seem to be a little bit longer. And after that, this project is complete. So as it is, it looks beautiful to stand on a tier tray like I'm showing over here. Also, you can use the clip that I left on the back, and it can be a name tag for setting up the Thanksgiving table, or just, you can put a picture up on it. I think it's so beautiful, but I want to hear what do you guys think. If you guys are on the social media, I'm on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. Come say hi, introduce yourself. I would love to get to know you. Also, I want to remind you that my regular upload times are Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. But if that changes for some reason, I usually try to let you know in advance. Okay, now we can go ahead and start with DIY number 3, which is my last project for today. For this one, I'm using regular aluminum foil. I am just cutting off the piece, and I'm wrapping it in kind of a cone shape, not really, but you will see what I'm doing over here. I want to create a corn on a cob. So I am actually using this tape, and I'm wrapping it around after I was happy with the shape that I created with aluminum foil. The reason why I'm using it is first because of the color that's going to camouflage that aluminum foil, and also because I'm going to glue something on top of it, and it's going to be easier to glue, of course, on that tape than the aluminum foil. Now I'm taking a few strands of raffia, and I'm cutting it to the size. I'm taking one extra strand, and I'm just going to wrap it on a bottom part and tie a knot to keep it in place. Now that this part is done, I'm going to poke a hole on the top of my corn, and I am going to put the hot glue in it, and then attach, or actually put the raffia inside, and then add more hot glue. After that, I will go ahead and get more of that tape, and I will tape it around, covering the leftover of the visible aluminum foil. Now I know it looks like a carrot, but it's not going to be a carrot, you'll see. Okay, now I'm going to take these foam beads, or what do you call it, foam little balls that we use usually in a Christmas time, and I started first with the Mod Podge. So I thought I'm going to, put a layer of a Mod Podge and then just attach those foam little balls. It worked, but it took forever to dry. So the next thing I decided to do is to use a hot glue. And this actually worked. So I recommend, if you're gonna redo this, or actually recreate this, to definitely use a hot glue. So you'll see over here in just a minute, I added a hot glue and just started, gluing, attaching those small foam balls. Yes, it's slower because you need to do in smaller section, but definitely stays on and it's not going anywhere. So hot glue it is. I'll show you over here. Yes, hot glue is great. So now that is done, this is how it looks like. Then I'm using brown, orange, red, and yellow acrylic paint, and I'm gonna just mix them up. I will actually dab my chippy brush in each of them, and I'm gonna mix them up later. I was just going for like a fall look of the corn, and we'll see how it's gonna turn out. So after I was done with that one layer, I want to show you how it looks like. Now this is really optional. You can use any colors you want. You can, create it your own. But I decided after this first layer, I'm gonna go ahead and add one more color. And I'm going to show you that in just a minute. Yes, this is how it looks like. So far so good, but I decided to add this kind of brushed metal color also by fall card, and I am just adding it. And then again, I was going back and forth adding, you know, yellow or orange or whatever color I wanted, just to make it look, you see over here I'm adding yellow, just to make it look the way I think it should look nice. Then I use my heat gun to dry it all, but like I said, you can leave it to dry for a few hours if you have time. And after that, this project is complete. I made only one, but I absolutely love it. I think I might add a few more and just use it as a decoration on my front porch. I think it's so beautiful. I think it looks pretty authentic. What do you think? I want to hear what do you think about this one? What do you think about all my projects that I showed you today? Would you recreate any of these? Would you change something? Also, if you're new, as I always say, please introduce yourself. I love to hear where are you from, what do you like? Do you like crafting, DIYing? What is your style? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.